Hello, and in today's video we are doing an FPL review of Double Game Week 36 and an FPL preview for Double Game Week 37. That's right, it is the final home stretch, people, of the Premier League and of FPL 21 to 22, and we just had an absolutely storming game week. Our second highest score of the season, just when we needed it, and look at that rank. We are on track to get our target from the start of the season of top 100k. That would be my best ever rank. Previously to that, it was 267k. Come on, we just need to hold rank now. But what a game week! What a game week! Let me talk you through it, and then we will preview Game Week 37, which does have 5 teams doubling, but whether they're very good teams or not, I'm not sure. And that's basically why I free hit it in Game Week 34 rather than 37. A lot of people free hitting this week, fair enough, but I felt I had more upside going with those players for Man City against Watford, and Chelsea had a nice double game week, and you had Liverpool with a nice game as well. So it made sense at the time. I was pretty happy with that game week. I think I scored around 66 points. I'll just quickly check that for you people. Yeah, that was it. Bang on. Robertson was a great one to get on. Okay, Havertz returned. De Bruyne, fantastic. It was a decent week, and obviously captaincy was a shame, but I still did very well, beat the average, and ultimately I'm hoping that the upside of that game week will be more than Game Week 37, but we'll see about that. One thing is for sure, I definitely chose the right week to bench boost. A few people doing it this week, but it was just a no-brainer. With so many players doubling last week, you had some big hauls potential, and boy, did we get that potential, and we saw it, proof in the pudding here. So, absolutely delighted by this Game Week 36 for sure. On the bench boost, I was going into this game week on 115,116. So I was like, yeah, okay, not ideal. We've had a few red arrows recently, but let's just try to get close to that top 100k again. And yeah, we hit the bench boost. We brought in Nketiah for Ivan Toney, and that really was great because that paid off by 8 points. We also brought in Laporte for White. That was great because that paid off by 14 points. And we brought in Douglas Luiz for Ramsey, and that also paid off by 11 points. So we had a net gain this game week, despite the -8, of 27 points. That's a season-defining moment. Absolutely love it. I mean, 14 doublers this week. Well, at least that was the plan. I say 14 doublers, but I had one singler in there. And unfortunately, that was Joel Matip. But what can you do about that? It's just very unlucky. He was playing all the time, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, Klopp decides to play Canate v Spurs. And I think they actually looked worse defensively because of it. But, it is what it is. But still, 14 doublers-ish. 29 games up for grabs. And honestly, I was just very reluctant on Saturday to bring in Douglas Luiz. But I thought, well, he's got a double, and it was my price to pay to get that City defence. I'm so glad I did it. Number one, because Man City looked brilliant once again. 5 goals in both games. And Laporte, absolute hero, comes up with a goal against Newcastle. And I was just absolutely fuming, to be fair, that he got robbed of any bonus points. How is Zinchenko, who didn't do much in the game at all, apart from that one shot he had in the box that got tipped over, and then right late on in the game, he gets a jammy assist for Foden, and there's more points for a goal for a defender than an assist. And yet, Laporte, who gets the clean sheet locked in and plays well over the game, scores a goal, does get no bonus points. It's a joke. So that was an absolute robbery. But, what can we do about that? Still a fantastic transfer in this week. Diaz, I was so close to getting, but I thought Laporte is cheaper, I might as well. And that paid off because Diaz got subbed off on half-time. So really, really great transfer, that one. And Douglas Luiz, you were my hero of the game week. I know that I had a lot of bigger scores from other players, but honestly, I was expecting 4 points, even maybe 3, if Douglas Luiz got benched for one of them. But I was thinking, well, with Ramsey out, maybe Douglas Luiz starts that game against Burnley. He did, and I was like, I'll take the 2 points. And then I went into the Liverpool game just thinking, I'll take the 2 points again. I mean, maybe even 3 points if Villa get a jammy clean sheet. But, oh my gosh, when he put the ball in the back of the net, my my heart was ecstatic. I was absolutely bouncing off the walls. It was just like, this guy is an absolute legend, and he will go down in FPL folklore for my team. 11 points on the bench boost for a 4.5 bench fodder. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, I was really happy with that. And, I said in my Instagram post about my team that I would be happy with 26 starts, and I expected less. And I actually did get, 28. So I really can't complain. I'm very, very happy with that. So yeah, Green Arrow, game week 36, really, really strong. Obviously, this was the weekend that Watford got relegated. And I only had one player from Watford in my team, and that was Emmanuel Dennis. Dennis the Menace. Bit of a menace in my team since I brought him in game week 35, because he then didn't score against Burnley and then didn't score against Palace, got subbed off, got injured, didn't play v Everton. But, at the end of the day, I was expecting probably 4 points. And with what I just said about Doug Suisse, I was probably also expecting 4 points. So the kind of badness of Dennis not playing the second game was made up and more and some by Doug Suisse's miracle. So yeah, to be fair, I'm not too disheartened, but at least I got 2 points out of him. But just not ideal. Obviously, Watford relegated. It was a bit of an annoying weekend, but there's the way it goes. And then the other player on my bench was Gordon, of course. And again, a bit like with Doug Suisse, I was just hoping for 4 points, really, because Gordon's not done a lot. But I thought in the big games he would turn up. He looked quite lively against Watford, but not enough real clear-cut chances. And then nothing against Leicester. So again, we'll take the 4 points, but it could have been so much more. But the main man, along with Doug Suisse, David Raya. I'm so happy. So first of all, I'm so happy about Game Week 32, because that was the week I had a huge decision to make in goalkeeper. Because I had Raya in 36 with a good fixture against Southampton, and I had Forster in the same fixture. And I was like, oh, it's a close one. Southampton versus Brentford. I don't know who to keep. And I did brilliantly, because I brought in Schmeichel in that Game Week 32 for Forster. And Schmeichel made that pen save versus Palace, and I was absolutely loving it. And that week as well, it just so happened that Chelsea scored 6 goals past Forster. And then I also had a decision to make in terms of Brentford for Game Week 36, and it was a tough one, because I knew that there was going to be a bit of a point kind of deduction. Well, not deduction, but I was going to miss out on points because of it. But I just thought I wanted 14 doublers, and I did get 14 doublers-ish. But to be fair, I've done very well here, because I thought, who do I want more? A Brentford goalkeeper or a Brentford striker? Well, I looked at Southampton, they were in poor form, but I also thought that, Southampton haven't been scoring many goals, and that Raya has been doing pretty well this season. So I thought, you know what, I've got no problem with David Raya in my team, but I probably have got a problem with taking out another striker. So that's why I was like, okay, I've already got Dennis, I'm not going to sell him. And I was kind of thinking, that's fine, because he's got a double anyway. I'm pretty happy with Nketiah and Kane, so it just made more sense, really. I could have done, obviously, bringing in, I'm trying to think who it was now, Tony, sorry, in for whoever it was. Was it Weghorst? I can't even remember now. But there was a striker in there before Nketiah. I think it was, I honestly don't remember. But the point is, oh yeah, of course it was Tony. Duh. So I could have kept Tony, but I was thinking I don't want the doubler, so I did well there, I think. I did well. Because I could have done, say, Raya to a Foster. To be fair, Foster did all right, but there really wasn't many other options. Pickford didn't do that amazingly. No clean sheets. So, other than the second game. But look, at the end of the day, I chose the right swing, because Tony got only 5 points against Southampton, and Raya with a beautiful 7 points with those save points. So really, really nice. And yeah, I was just buzzing, really. This game week was just all that it lived up to be. And I don't think I'll get a better bench boost, to be fair, in my FPL career. Because they often say about 15 to 20 points is ideal for a bench boost. We got ourselves a juicy 25. But let us just talk through each player first, and then we will preview Game Week 37. So Schmeichel had 2 against Everton and Norwich. Look, got the clean sheet against Norwich. We'll take that. Surprisingly, more points and saves than the Norwich game than the Everton game. I thought it'd be the other way around, because Everton had more to play for. But look, we'll still take it. will take the clean sheet finally for Leicester and finally for Schmeichel. And 8 points is not amazing, but it's good enough for me. Back 5 then, big at the back. We were going for it this game week. And Trent Alexander-Arnold, really a bit of a frustrating one because he just didn't really look as attacking as he has been recently. I mean, Liverpool defence has not been as good recently, but yeah, it was a shame to see both clean sheet wipeouts. But, you know, at the cost of points for Son and Doug Suisse, I'm not going to complain. Rudiger, 7 points. Again, not ideal, because that Wolves game, you just thought 2-0, easily clean sheet, we'll take the 12 points. But yeah, it was a bit of a shocker from Chelsea. And then clean sheet in the second game, we'll take that. I actually didn't think Rudiger would play the second game because I thought they'd rest loads of players ahead of the cup final. But he did play, so I was really, really loving that. And then Reece James, out of nowhere. You know, I say the same problem with the Wolves game, but then he gets that assist against Leeds, gets the 3 bonus. I mean, it is just a perfect scenario. So Reece James, finally, my faith, repays in Reece James. 11 points, Matip, absolute god, right? Okay, that's not your fault. You don't get played against Spurs, but he comes into the Villa game, scores a goal. It literally is unbelievable scenes, that Liverpool game. Matip and Doug Suisse getting on the score sheet and 3 bonus points. Beautiful. Absolute beautiful. Matip, you have been a great player to own this season. I honestly love it. And he's so differential as well. It's amazing. Laporte, 14 points. Beautiful. Goal against Newcastle. Okay, right. Not ideal, the injury against Wolves. Not ideal at all. But he got the 60 minutes. You know, no City defender got a clean sheet anyway. So I haven't lost a lot from that. But obviously, this game week, I have to think about what I do with Laporte. But look, huge upside this week. And I was so happy to own him for that goal. Really, really nice. In the midfield, Salah, really frustrating. I thought he'd be the best captain option this double game week because, you know, we know what he did in the previous double game week in Game Week 26. But unfortunately, KDB now outscores Salah's haul from Game Week 26 and gets 30 points. So fair play if you triple captained up to 90, but of course, Salah got 84 in that double, but still very frustrating. Same thing with Trent, really. Against Spurs, he just wasn't really at the races. And then against Villa, I mean, to see him benched was just a shocker. So all those triple captainers on Salah, honestly, I feel for you. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's 6 points. It's like, in any given game week, that's kind of like an assist for someone. So for Saka, 4 points. Bit of a shame. I'm not going to lie. Against Leeds, I thought Saka would really go off. He didn't look that lively. And then obviously Spurs was a tougher fixture, but I still thought Arsenal would be a bit more competitive in that game, and they were just really poor. So look, Saka is still Arsenal's best player, in my opinion, across the season. Obviously, he's not been in great form recently, but I still feel there's some big games for Arsenal coming up, and Saka's going to be huge for them. So I'd be very, very careful about selling him. Son, 20 points, absolute king. Now, every week I say this, and every week I still do it. Why don't I captain Son Heung-min? I mean, he is actually a joke of form right now, and he's one behind Salah. I guess we thought the fixtures, it was better to captain Salah, but Son was the form player into this game week, so it was a little bit of a wake-up call. But look, Liverpool, we knew he'd score because the way they play in behind. And then, oh my gosh, what a goal against Arsenal. Just brilliantly improvised, and the way he just kind of got his foot in, it was almost like a tackle, and then he just lovely curled it in. Got the assist as well for that, winning the penalty. Just brilliant. And the best bit about it is he gets taken off nice and early to get him ready for Burnley. So it's very tempting, to be honest, that he's my armband wearer in Game Week 37. But we will talk about that. Front two, though, absolute legends. 15 points each. Beautiful. The North London Derby strikers do not let me down. And yeah, okay, Nketiah was pretty poor in the second game, but look, he did it in the Leeds game against his former team. Beautiful. 2 goals in the first half, and the second half, admittedly, wasn't that lively, but he did what he needed to in the first half, and that was absolutely brilliant transfer in. I mean, it's got to be up there as my best transfers across the season. And by the way, if you want to look at my FPL review of the season, look at Instagram, Roberto_the_pro, all non-caps, and I've done an FPL review on that, on one of my posts. So scroll back and have a little look at that, because Nketiah, what a transfer he was. And Harry Kane, beautiful. Love the goals against Arsenal. He always does it against them. And those that owning Kane obviously have got the rewards, but a lot of people have had only Son. So to rival Son and to get 3 bonus, really nice. But obviously Son still outscores them. So fair play, those Son captainers. But Kane, he's also in great form. Now, looking at the bench boost, as I say, was really, really promising. I mean, I say 4 points for Gordon. I mean 5, because, of course, he got that clean sheet against Watford. But, look, at the end of the day, that, my friends, is a brilliant bench boost. And I am very happy about that game week, all in all. In terms of what it's done for my overall rank in the FPL rankings, as they say, it has actually really helped me out, I'm not going to lie. And we have gone up with a juicy green arrow from, as I say, 115k to 81k, which is just a dream. If I can stay near that, like, the problem is with FPL that this season the margins are so fine. Like, from one rank to the next, you've got like 1 point, and then that 1 point can be a difference of like 20,000. So it's really hard to kind of keep rank. But that's basically my aim for the last 2 game weeks: hold my rank as much as possible. But yeah, to be in the 100 club for that bench boost was good enough. But to get 142, obviously with the -8, 134, but unreal stuff. A really good game week. And yeah, that was just the boost I needed, really. In terms of my score, obviously it was joint best with double game week 26, because I also got 140, I think 6 in that game week, and I took a -12, so it kind of went to 134. And yeah, gaming rank really strong of 215,293. So now sitting at overall points of 2,377. Brilliant stuff. And sometimes it pays to overthink. But yeah, I will just leave the link of that season review for my Instagram in the video below. So check the comment section for that. But yeah, let's look ahead to game week 37 then. It's obviously a big game week for many reasons. Number 1, in the title race, this could be the time that City wrap it up virtually. But let's see what happens. Right, this is my team. Haven't made a transfer yet. The deadline is 10:30, so about just over an hour to go. Now, the bench is an issue, but I'm glad I bench boosted last week, because I've got injuries to Dennis, injuries to Laporte, and injuries to Mo Salah, who obviously went off in the FA Cup final. So that has made it quite difficult to decide. I honestly think that I'd be worried about Douglas Luiz. I mean, I say worried, but he has just done an absolute bit for me, and let's just imagine he does it again. I'll be gutted if I bench him. But the main man I really want to replace, for the upside, I could get in a double game weeker, but I'm thinking, well, like, I don't really want to have all that money on the bench, so Salah's probably got to go. I know he's got 2 good games against Southampton and Wolves, but if he's not playing Southampton, then it's 1 game. Whereas KDB is in absolutely unbelievable form. 4 goals against Wolves. Unbelievable. So it might have been too late to go on the KDB train, but I just think City, KDB, you know he's going to play. And all right, West Ham is not the easiest, but I think he still does something there. It's just, he's so good. It's a really tricky one, because is it worth it? It's kind of a nothing move. It's like a premium to a premium, when really I should be chasing the double game week players this week, but I'm just not that infused. Like, I could get in Richarlison, but that would have to be a hit. Am I really, with this rank, worth taking hits now? Really? When I could even not make a transfer and just use 2 in game week 38. But like, with Salah out injured, I think I've got to take action. So I'm thinking right now I'm going to go Salah to KDB, because De Bruyne is probably the next best player in the league after Salah. And it does give me a nice bit of money to then use in game week 38. So let's lock that in. Salah to De Bruyne. Bish bash bosh. I love that transfer. Right, De Bruyne comes in, but the question is, who does he come in for? I think I'm going to start Gordon. As poor as he's been, I think what is on the line for Everton is so much that he could get something. So I'm probably going to bench Douglas Luiz. Now, it's about whether I play Laporte, Matip, or one of the Chelsea players. And I'm very tempted to play Reece James, because he was brilliant against Leeds. He's got great upside on his day. Leicester are pretty leaky. I can see Leicester scoring. That's the problem. So is it worth starting both Chelsea defenders? Well, it's Rudiger's last home game, so there could be something around that. I don't know. I just feel Rudiger's an interesting one. Against Leicester, who are quite an attacking side, is it worth benching Rudiger? Well, I benched Rudiger earlier on in the season and paid the price with 14 points with a goal and an assist, clean sheet. So, you know, they could equally haul big, both of them. But at the same time, I can see Leicester scoring, and Chelsea have been a little bit weird in their form. So it's a really hard one to call. But I feel like with Rudiger's final game, I don't know. They're both at home as well. You've got to think about home advantage. Liverpool, obviously, defensively not been great for clean sheets recently, but they got a clean sheet technically in the FA Cup final. But I'm not sure about Matip. I honestly feel, although he came in to play a little bit of the FA Cup final, he's going to be nice and rested because he didn't start. Van Dijk did. I just worry about Liverpool because if Robertson is out, because he got subbed off, if Van Dijk is out, which it looks like he might be, and Salah could be out as well, then that Liverpool team are going to be struggling. I'm not sure Southampton, they're that good going forward, so it could be a 6 points for Matip. But the upside of Gordon probably outweighs Matip with the 2 games, I think, just about. So then it's a conversation between benching Matip and Laporte, and to be honest, that's a really tricky one because Laporte injury is just 50-50. We don't know if he's going to play or not. He did train yesterday, apparently, but one day's training is not great, so it's a really tricky one. What I'm thinking is that I might just... I don't know what I'm thinking, to be fair. I think I might just bench Matip, because the way to think of it is, if Laporte is out, which he might be, the problem is, what if Laporte plays and City concede and then Matip gets a clean sheet? That would be the really frustrating scenario, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I think with City, if they do have Laporte fit, there's more chance of a clean sheet than Liverpool. Now, that's weird, because Southampton are not as good as West Ham, but at the same time, City are so good, and Laporte's got more goal threat than Matip as well. So if Laporte plays, but it's all about whether Laporte plays. It's really hard to say, but I feel like Laporte might not. So Matip could come in anyway, and then let's say Trent doesn't play, Doug Luiz can come in anyway with the double. So I think that's the best team I can do. It's really hard this game week because there's no clear answer, and I could probably get it wrong in every scenario that I choose. But I think that's what we're going to go for. So captaincy, it's got to be Son. I'm sorry, I've said it so many weeks now. I've got to captain Son soon, and I have been stubborn and captain Kane over Son, and Son's got more. This will, of course, be the current week that just happens to be that Son is outscored by Kane, and it'll be just my luck because more people own Son Heung-min than Harry Kane, and it's less differential of a captaincy. But forget differential, forget ownership. Son is in blazing form, and he actually has got a good record against Burnley. But then so does Harry Kane, so it's on a knife's edge really. But you think about the extra goal for the extra point for the goal, clean sheets as well. I don't know. He's got top 4. They've both got top 4 motivations, but Son's got golden boot motivations, so it's a sticky one. Vice captaincy, I don't like to captain and vice captain from the same team. I don't know why. It's not really a thing I think about. So Saka is my vice captain, but I could move to De Bruyne. I probably will move to De Bruyne because it's KDB, for goodness sake. So, that is my team locked in for game week number 37. I hope you have enjoyed. Schmeichel, Watford, Chelsea. I mean, come on. 1 clean sheet. I mean, I don't want it to be, but I can see it. Trent is just so attacking, but he's not been great recently. Reece James got 12 points in the reverse fixture. I'm pretty sure I brought him in this time, game week 13, for Reece James. I think game week 13. I think it was game week 12, actually. Yeah, it was. Laporte, look, if he plays, it could be another goal like he got against Newcastle. If he doesn't, then great. But I don't see him getting benched and then coming on for a 1-pointer. It's just unlikely for a defender. So basically, does he play? Does he not play? If he does play, then hopefully West Ham don't do anything. And hopefully Laporte can get an attacking return once again. Because West Ham have been pretty poor from set pieces as far as I can remember. Rudiger, okay, last home game, last time in a Chelsea shirt. Let's give him a final hurrah. Scored in this game last in the reverse fixture. Gordon, it's his time to shine. De Bruyne, it's KDB, mate. He is so good. Saka, okay, good fixture. Not great form, but it's Newcastle and it's top 4 race. Son, the same thing. He's just amazing. Kane is amazing. And Nketiah against Newcastle, I think Nketiah can do well, just like he did against Leeds. But David Raya on the bench because he's only got 1 game. I know it's a good fixture with Everton, but I just think you've got to back the doubler every single time. And I say back the double every single time. That depends on the quality of the player. Schmeichel makes loads of saves. So does Raya. But I just think with that Watford fixture, I mean, I don't want to say it because I want to see us score and win today. But I'm so unoptimistic about us. Doug Suisse, though, obviously, he's got a double, but he's just not likely to score. I mean, that game he got a goal against Liverpool was a miracle. So I'll take it for the bench boost, but to see it happen again, I think it's unlikely. And then Dennis obviously is out. I know I could have done a Dennis out, but that's taking a hit when I don't need to. And I can just bench Dennis because he's got Chelsea anyway on the final day. So it's not like I'm getting someone for 2 game weeks, really. So I say, sorry, for 2 game weeks. But what I mean is I'm happy to bench Dennis because of his fixtures anyway. Like, he's not playing this week. He's probably not playing Chelsea either. So, it's so late to the end of the season. I can just not worry about it. So that's my team locked in. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.